The timeline from Adam's fall to the sacrifice of Lord Yeshua. Understanding the biblical chronology and its prophetic significance. In the beginning, man fell, and from that moment, the breath line of redemption began to unfold. The timeline from Adam's fall to the sacrifice of Lord Yeshua spans 4,000 years on earth, which corresponds to the end of the fourth day in heaven. This notion is based on the biblical verse from 2 Peter 3:8. With the Lord, a day is like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years are like a day. This timeline reveals the intricate connection between earthly and heavenly events, providing a profound understanding of the divine plan and the prophetic significance of biblical history. The fall of Adam and the promise of redemption. The fall of Adam marks the beginning of human history, wherein sin entered the world and humanity was separated from God. This separation necessitated a plan for redemption, which God promised through various covenants and prophecies. Genesis 3:15 is the first indication of this promise, where God declares that the offspring of the woman will crush the serpent's head. This prophecy sets the stage for the eventual coming of the Messiah, who would restore humanity's relationship with God. The patriarchs and the establishment of Israel. During the 4,000 years between Adam's fall and Lord Yeshua's sacrifice, God chose specific individuals to carry forward his plan of redemption. These individuals, known as patriarchs, included Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. God established a covenant with Abraham, promising that his descendants would become a great nation. Genesis 12:2-3. This nation, Israel, played a pivotal role in preserving God's laws and prophecies, eventually leading to the birth of the Messiah. Cinematic storyboard. From the fall to the fulfillment. A narrated scroll in 5 epochs, formatted for cinematic video or visual teaching. Opening scene. The scroll unfurls. Visual. A parchment scroll opens in golden light. In the beginning, man fell. And from that moment, the breathline of redemption began to unfold. Epoch Bly, the line from Adam to Noah. Year 0, the fall of Adam. Adam was 130 years of age when he begat Seth, Genesis 5:3, starting the count 130 years from the fall of Adam. Seth was 105 years old when he begat Enosh, Genesis 5:6, 235 years from the fall of Adam. Enosh was 90 years old when he begat Canaan, Genesis 5:9, 325 years from the fall of Adam. Canaan was 70 years old when he begat Mahalalel, Genesis 5:12, 395 years from the fall of Adam. Mahalalel was 65 years old when he begat Jared, Genesis 5:15, 460 years from the fall of Adam. Jared was 162 years old when he begat Enoch, Genesis 5:18, 622 years from the fall of Adam. Enoch was 65 years old when he begat Methuselah, Genesis 5:21, 687 years from the fall of Adam. Methuselah was 187 years old when he begat Lamech, Genesis 5:25, 874 years from the fall of Adam. Lamech was 182 years old when he begat Noah, Genesis 5:28-29, 1056 years from the fall of Adam. Epoch 2. After the flood, the nations begin. Noah was 502 years old when he begat Shem, Genesis 5:32, 1558 years from the fall of Adam. Shem was 100 years old when he begat Arphaxad, Genesis 11:10, 1658 years from the fall of Adam. Arphaxad was 35 years old when he begat Salah, Genesis 11:12, 1993 years from the fall of Adam. Salah was 30 years old when he begat Eber, Genesis 11:14, 1723 years from the fall of Adam. Eber was 34 years old when he begat Peleg, Genesis 11:16, 1757 years from the fall of Adam. Peleg was 30 years old when he begat Roy, Genesis 11:18, 1787 years from the fall of Adam. Reu was 32 years old when he begat Serug, Genesis 11:20, 1819 years from the fall of Adam. Serug was 30 years old when he begat Nahor. Genesis 11:22, 1849 years from the fall of Adam. Nahor was 29 years old when he begat Terah. Genesis 11:24, 1878 years from the fall of Adam. Terah was 70 years old when he begat Abram. Genesis 11:26, 1948 years from the fall of Adam. Epoch 3, Covenant and Calling. Abram's Journey. Year 2023 from the fall of Adam, Abram enters Canaan, Genesis 12:4. Year 2024-2025 from the fall of Adam, famine and journey to Egypt, Genesis 12:10-20. Year 2027 from the fall of Adam, Abram returns and settles near Hebron, Genesis 13:1-4. Year 2027-2028 from the fall of Adam, Lot settles in Sodom, Genesis 13:10-13. Year 2029-2030 from the fall of Adam, God confirms the land promise, Genesis 13:14-17. Year 2030-2031 from the fall of Adam, Abram rescues Lot, Genesis 14:1-16. Year 2031-2032 from the fall of Adam, Melchizedek blesses Abram, Genesis 14:18-20. Year 2032 from the fall of Adam, blood covenant at Mount Betarim, Genesis 15:1-21. Year 2047 from the fall of Adam, circumcision covenant sealed, Genesis 17. Year 2300 from the fall of Adam, Jacob enters Egypt, Genesis 45:6. Year 2477 from the fall of Adam, law given to Moses, 430 years from the seal of covenant through circumcision in the year 2477, Galatians 3:17, Exodus 20. Visual transition, a blazing mountaintop. Tablets descend. Epoch 4, Kingship, from Solomon to Zedekiah. "480 years after the exodus from Egypt, in the 4th year of King Solomon's reign, the first temple construction begins. 1 Kings 6.1, in the year 2957 from the fall of Adam. 409 years from the first construction of the first temple to the initial Babylon captivity, Daniel 1:1-6, in the year 3366 from the fall of Adam. 429 years from the initial construction of the first temple, King Zedekiah captured by King Nebuchadnezzar, 2 Kings 25:1-21, in the year 3386 from the fall of Adam. In the year 3386 from the fall of Adam, the first temple is destroyed. Year 3435 from the fall of Adam, Cyrus conquers Babylon, Ezra 1:1-4. The Jewish people liberated from captivity. Year 3456 from the fall of Adam. Second temple foundation laid, Ezra 3:8-13. Year 3517 from the fall of Adam. Second temple completed and consecrated, Ezra 6:15. Year 3577 from the fall of Adam, Daniel's 70 weeks begin, Ezra 7:11-28. Daniel's 483 prophetic years unfold, Daniel 9:26. Year 4000 from the fall of Adam, the crucifixion and resurrection of the Messiah Lord Yeshua. Epoch 5, Fulfillment, the Messiah is cut off. Year 4000, the Messiah dies. Yeshua, the Anointed One, is cut off. Not for himself, but for us all. Closing scene, the scroll seals. Thus the scroll is complete. From the fall to the flood, from the covenant to the captivity, from the temple to the cross, every year a witness, every decree a seal, until the final Jubilee when perfect rest shall reign. The prophets and the foretelling of the Messiah. Throughout the history of Israel, prophets emerged to convey God's messages and to foretell the coming of the Messiah. These prophecies provided hope and guidance to the people, affirming God's promise of redemption. For instance, Isaiah 7:14 prophesied the virgin birth of the Messiah, and Isaiah 53 detailed his suffering and sacrifice for humanity's sins. These prophecies were fulfilled in the life and ministry of Lord Yeshua, confirming the divine plan laid out from the beginning. The sacrifice of Lord Yeshua. The culmination of the 4,000-year timeline is the sacrifice of Lord Yeshua, who is the promised Messiah. His death and resurrection signify the completion of the first phase of God's redemption plan. Yeshua's sacrifice fulfilled the prophecies and covenants established throughout biblical history, offering salvation to all who believe in him. This event marks the end of the fourth day in heaven, as referenced in 2 Peter 3:8, a day for 1,000 years. The Church Age and the Revival. Following Lord Yeshua's sacrifice, the Church Age began, which is considered a period of revival on earth. According to the timeline, this period spans 2,000 years, corresponding to 2 days in heaven. During this time, the gospel is spread, and believers are called to repentance toward the Father and faith in Lord Yeshua. This era is characterized by the growth and expansion of the church, fulfilling Lord Yeshua's command to make disciples of all nations, Matthew 28:19-20. The Great Day of the Lord. As the church age nears its end, the great day of the Lord approaches, symbolizing the final judgment and the ultimate fulfillment of God's plan. In Matthew 24:40, Yeshua describes this event, stating, "Two men will be in the field, one will be taken and the other left." The Day of Atonement. This separation signifies the distinction between the righteous and the unrighteous, leading to the Millennial Reign on earth. The Millennial Reign and the Feast of Tabernacles. The seventh Sabbath day in heaven marks the beginning of the 7,000th year on earth, known as the Millennial Reign. During this period, Yeshua, the Lord of the Sabbath, Matthew 12:8, will rule as the high priest after the order of Melchizedek, Hebrews 7:17. This reign is celebrated as the Feast of Tabernacles, symbolizing God's dwelling among his people and the ultimate restoration of creation. Conclusion. The timeline from Adam's fall to the sacrifice of Lord Yeshua and beyond reveals the profound connection between earthly and heavenly events. It underscores the divine plan for redemption and the prophetic significance of biblical history. By understanding this chronology, believers can appreciate the depth of God's love and the intricacy of his plan, leading to a greater faith and anticipation for the fulfillment of his promises.